Hi, you're very welcome to this session, Excel Snacks, delivered by me, Anne Walsh. Today we're doing a colour pop feature, also known as conditional formatting. All right. Here with me as well is my son, Lauros, who's over here. He's in the green background. So he's the person who's going to be letting people in and he's going to be putting you on mute and so on. So what we're going to do is work through it, and I'm going to pause. I'm going to do it slightly differently from what I did it the last time. I'm going to pause at points, maybe just if you have any questions in the chat, just pause from time to time. I don't plan to run much over the 20 minutes though, all right? This is an Excel snack, not a full 3-course meal at a restaurant, all right? So let us kick off.
Okay. I can get into it now.
Okay, just if you can all go on mute, that would be fantastic. Bear with me a second. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. All right, we are going to kick this off. All right, we are going to have 20 minutes of Excel goodness. There's more room for a lot more if you want. So we'll have a little color pop where we have conditional formatting. What I like to call adding a color pop to your data. And I just thought I'd throw in a pair of high heel shoes there as well, because you generally don't have high heel shoes when you're working with Excel. Okay. Tiny bit about me. Who am I? Where am I? Why am I here? Etc. Right. My name's Anne Walsh. I live in the west of Ireland, where it rains a lot of the time. It's raining today, actually. My website is called theexcelexpert.com. Right. I've been a freelance Excel trainer since the mid-90s. I want to point out that's the mid-1990s, not the 1890s. Right. I also have written a couple of books. One is called Your Excel Survival Kit, even Your Guide to Surviving and Thriving in the Excel World. 2nd edition on the way, hopefully. Okay. I've also written a number of books for Bookboon called Create Great Reports in Excel, Get and Transform Data, Create Reports in Word. And there's another one that's been hatched at the moment about tracking your training records in Excel. I love movies, puns, and crime fiction. And I have a son who's a software engineer, and I wonder where he gets that from. And in this case, I think it's fair to say you can't actually blame his mother, since mothers get blamed for everything. You can definitely blame him for that one. Okay. But he's keeping an eye on you all today, hopefully. Right. So let us begin. What I'm hoping you will learn in this session, how to use color in Excel to identify patterns in your data. Right. Quite often I've seen people do this manually, which falls into what I call one of my favorite things of buying a dog and barking yourself. What we're going to cover today specifically is looking at how to identify duplicates and maybe highlight specific words and conditions. I'll be doing this in a particular file, which will be sent on to you afterwards. And I'm also want to just touch on how you'd create like a traffic light system. So that, as Baldrick would say in Blackadder, that is my cunning plan for today. Some other housekeepy typey stuffy, okay? It will be recorded and sent out afterwards. As we speak, it's being recorded. Okay, let me make sure I am recording it. Yes. No, I am recording it. Yes, I was kind of just wondering there for a second. All right, but if not, I would do it again, of course. All right. And they'll also, for this one, I'm going to have plans to opportunities to ask questions in the chat. Okay, so I'll go through some of the bits and pieces of it, and then there'll be opportunities to ask questions in the chat. Okay, so 2 halves. All right, there's the condition and the formatting. So when you're doing conditional formatting in Excel, the first thing you have to say is like, what is the condition that I want to kind of identify? Do I want to identify duplicates? Do I want to color code everything that has specific words? Do I want to say ones that are equal to a certain amount, greater than or equal to a certain amount, less than a certain amount? That's the first bit. The second part is then deciding on the color. Okay, so those essentially where the 2 bits of it actually fall into place. So let's have a look at it. I'm a great believer, don't reinvent the wheel, use what is there. All right. The conditional formatting in Excel comes even comes with a lot of preset kind of rules, and those are the ones we're going to focus on today. You can do your own rules if you want to, but as I keep saying, don't reinvent the wheel. You might very well find that what you need is exactly there. Okay. I like to say, see if Excel has already done the work for you and done the thinking for you. The chances are whatever problem you had, somebody else has had it before, And somebody in the Excel team has said, oops, let's find a solution for it. To be fair, okay? And that would be under home and your conditional formatting. So let's have a look at the steps for that. Step 1, going to be you select your data. Step 2 is that you're going to go to home, conditional formatting. Step 3 is going to be that you choose your condition. Step 4 is that you're going to choose your color, and then you click OK, and that's it. Right. So let us see what that looks like in practice. Okay. So let me just new share here, and I'm going to go to formatting and share. Okay. So hopefully you can see a file that says that's blue. If you give me a thumbs up, you can see a blue file. That would be great. Lovely. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, just pop them into the chat. Brilliant. Great stuff. So what I want to start with, first of all, is identifying duplicates. All right. So we start here. And I'm going to go to this sales territory name. I go to home. And I'm just going to move this little box out of the way for a second. I go to conditional formatting. And the thing I want you to notice here when you go into conditional formatting is you have a number of things here. First of all, you have highlight cells rules. Right? So you see there's a whole bunch of preconditions: greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contains, date occurring, and duplicates. Right? And just one other thing I want you to notice as well is it says here greater than. But for example, if you wanted greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, you have to go to the option that says more rules. Right? And then to more rules, and if you go to this one, this is where you can choose greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay. So just kind of be aware of that if possible. However, what I'm going to start with is my conditional formatting highlight cells rules, and I want to identify my duplicates. So I've specified my condition, and there's my duplicates. Okay, and they're all duplicated. Okay. So I can also specify unique. Then I choose a color, and again, there's a number of preset colors on it, so I can choose different colors. Or if I go down here, for example, to custom format, give it a second now to come up. I like fill and can choose a different set of colors down here. There's also an option here which says fill effects, but I'm just going to say if you're spending a lot of time deciding what gradient you have on your conditional formatting, you probably have a little bit too much time in your hands. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so keep it simple. Kind of go with the rules that they have there already. So I'm going to cancel that again and just go with the light red fill with dark red text. So all the ones that are in it at the moment are duplicates. Okay. Now, if I come in here, for example, and I change one of these to, let's say, to Ireland, right? You see there, Ireland is only in it once, so it removes the duplicates off it. So the duplicates thing at this point is basically anything that's in it more than once. Okay. The second option I want to show you, which is going to be on highlight cells rules again, is I'm looking for, let's say, text that contains. Okay, so I'm here looking at this and I want to say, show me everything that has a road in it, as it were. Right? So again, home, conditional formatting, highlight cells rules, right? And I'm going to say text that contains. Okay, I could type in road. Now, you could also have a thing whereby you kind of have it in a completely separate cell if you want to. You don't have to type it in. Road. Right? And then let's say this time I'm going to choose a format color. So I choose custom format. And I'm going to choose a nice, well, you could choose what I call the Quentin Tarantino arterial blood red if you wanted to, or I could go for a nice green, which is there. And click OK. And that's where you just pick out the ones that have road in it. So if I came here, for example, and changed that to road, if I spelled it correctly, it would make a big difference. Road bicycle. You see there, it would automatically format it. So this will be where you just identify those two. Okay. Now I'm just going to pause for a second here, and I just have a quick look in the chat, and I just want to see, has anybody got any questions? So Laura, has anybody got any questions at the moment?
No, not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay, that's good. Either they're all awestruck by the beauty of Excel, or It's something, maybe something else has happened. Right. So the second bit I want to look at here, right, is, and I'm just going to go to my icons one for this one, is I'm going to use like a traffic light system. Right. But I'm just going to pause 1 second and come back to part one here for a moment. Right. And let's say I wanted to do, because I just want to show you one more one. Right. So let's say I'm just highlighting my column here. So let's say I just wanted to show, for example, you know, this conditional formatting. So here I've looked at the highlight cells rules, which I've looked at. You also have an option here, which allows you to identify the top, bottom 10% or 10% or 8% or whatever, or items. Another nice feature here is a thing called your color bars. So I'm just going to click on the green there for a second. And basically you'll see there, kind of, it's basically the bigger the number, the bigger the bar. Right? That's the data bars. Okay, any questions before I go on to my icons?
Yeah, so Pat Markham asks, could you sort them also by country and product, for example?
Yes, you could, of course. And the way you would do that would be, let's say, if I want to sort in a particular order, I could click here. All right, so a couple of things here. You could go up here to this one. You could filter by color. See there? Filter by that color if I wanted to. And data and clear. And if you want to sort it in a particular order, you go up here to data and then sort. And for example, you say sort by, you said that, mentioned there maybe about the, I have sales territory name, sales value A to Z, and then I can go add level. And then say maybe sort by, for example, let's say product name, A to Z. And you can do that 25 more times. So you can sort by 27 levels. Right? In the bad old days, you had 3, but now you can sort by 27 levels. 27 should sort you for most scenarios. Any other questions? Just stop there for a second.
All good so far?
So far, good. All right, brilliant. Thank you. All right. Now let's just look at the icons next to implement our traffic light system. All right. So over here, I have a scenario where I want to say basically if my ratings, so this is for coffee, no, it's for chocolate. Chocolate or coffee, either is good. So my rating systems, I want to basically say if it's greater than 3, give it a green light. If it's between 2 and 3, give it an orange light. And if it's less than 2, it's kind of coffee that really, we'd hardly bother making, right? Less than 2, give it a red light. Right? So that's what we're going to look at. So when you do, let's say, formatting your icons in this one, the way I tend to do this is slightly differently from the other ones. I go to conditional formatting, I go to my icon sets, and what I do is I kind of say, okay, what kind of traffic light system would I like? And what I do is that I kind of let Excel suggest something to me. Okay, so that's the first thing. So there it is. I see it's giving me a rating. It's not what I want though, that's the problem. So what I do is that when I've created the rule, I go up to conditional formatting and I go down to manage rules. And then I come in here then to edit rule. So this is where in the manage rules place is the place where you can kind of organize your conditional formatting rules and so on. So edit rule. Okay. And I say where the value is. And the first thing I do is I change from percent to number. Because if I don't do that first, Excel, and I put something in value and then change it again, Excel says, you don't need that. What were we thinking? Right? Just go straight to number first. So I put in 3 here. Also to say you can put that into a cell, right? And then I come down here and by the magic of Excel, down here to this one, and I just change this, let's say to a 2. Okay, I also change to a number. All right. Oh, and you see, I didn't hear my own advice. You see, it's changed it back to this one. Okay, so now I've got my settings done on it, this one, and then I click OK. And then I click apply. The reason I'm clicking on apply is that sometimes you do it and it's like apply says, really, really do it. Apply, and then OK. And then what I could do is I could then sort that by traffic light icons. So I go up here to data, I go to sort, and for my ratings column, which is here, from this one here, I choose conditional formatting icon, and I'm going to start optimistically with the green one. Let's start with the good coffee first. I then go copy level, change that to an orange, copy level again, change that one to a red. Okay, so basically if I was working my way through this as a coffee experiment, I do all the strong ones first, and by the time I come to the end, I would be needing the weaker ones. So I click OK. There you go. Scroll all the way down. Lots and lots and lots of coffee down here. This is all good coffee. Okay, keep going. I'm going to keep going. So quite a few of them. I'd actually forgotten that I had this amount of coffee here. There you go. We're now going into the weaker territory. I'll go down again to that there, down at the very bottom. Right. So that would be how you would sort that. All right, Lauros, any questions?
Good so far.
So good so far. All right, lovely. No chat. Everybody okay? Okay.
So Magda asks, can you also sort within the colors, for example, within green?
As long as you give it a different shade of green, and you also you'd have to assign kind of a particular shade of green, and it'd be up to you to decide the order that you want to appear in. All right. Yeah. Any other questions?
Pat asks, can you add the highest rating to lowest rating? I think what that would mean is that, for example, you see for rows 2, 3, and 4, you have it's sorting 3.2, 3.2, 3.5, 3.7.
Yeah.
So it's even though the rating is going highest, middle, lowest, the values themselves are not sorted.
So what you do then is that in the sorting option here, you'd add another option that kind of would say, that kind of says sort that within, you probably might put it maybe halfway between the green and the orange and say sort that by number. So it's like you'd add in another sort level on it. All right. Any other questions?
Helen asks, will there be a copy of the recording available? She's just been able to.
Yes. If you've registered, yes, there'll be a recording sent out. Yes. Any other questions? That's it?
So far, so good. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to kind of just start wrapping it up now. Go to my new share. Okay. All right. So can I just check that you can all see back to my little PowerPoint presentation? Can I have a quick thumbs up if you can see that there, Lauros? Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, I'm just going to start wrapping it up now. Okay. So I have a number of other upcoming snacks, 2 more in the pipeline, all on Fridays at 12:40 Irish time. Of course, it's probably 12:40 somewhere all the time, right? Then what I'm going to have is the next one is on the 19th of March, which is next Friday. And that's going to be the one that says a list, my kingdom for a list. All right, to paraphrase Shakespeare and his horse, my kingdom for a horse, or why data setup is crucial. And it's the bit that people always forget. All right. And the next one then is going to be, it's a pivot table, right? Not a pivot, the word of 2021, along with you're on mute, which of course the phrase. But basically, what are pivot tables and why should you care? Okay. Also to mention as well, this will be recorded, all right? This will be sent out to you afterwards. I am running a couple of other courses. One of them is an online course, which kind of covers more on conditional formatting. And I also have a waiting list for a course, what I call Excel for the Reluctant Learner, Series 2, which kind of is for people who are sort of, maybe have the basics. If you don't have the basics and you're not sure of them, I'm running another one called Excel for the Reluctant Learner, usually over the evening time, 7 to 8:30. And it's aimed at what I call the Russell Crowe learner. And that comes from when Russell Crowe was on the red carpet and was asked, why are you here? He said, because I'm contractually obliged to be here. So not everybody loves Excel as much as some of us do. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is where I'm going to pause here now. Stop the share. Any last minute questions? The 20 minutes is pretty much up. Any other questions? That was short and sweet, as I say, like a donkey's gallop. Great stuff. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. It's a great way to start your day. There, Billy, thank you for coming along from Las Vegas. Brilliant stuff. You're booking into the Russell Crowe session. Okay, anything with Russell Crowe can't be all bad. That's all I'm saying. All right, great stuff. Okay, lovely. Okay, so I'm going to end the meeting. I'm quite impressed now. Bang on 1 o'clock. All right. If anybody has any questions, you'll have my email address and you can come back to me. And I hope all of you maybe have learned something from it. All right. And are willing to have a go at it anyway. Oh, yes. Broadchurch. Anyone here from Scotland?
Broadchurch.
Want to say, yes, Caroline, do you want to say Broadchurch? Billy Wigley wants to hear somebody hear Broadchurch.
Broadchurch.
Broadchurch. There you go. Is that okay, Billy? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good, very good Friday, a very good weekend, and mind yourselves and take care. All right. Bye.